All right, let's dive in. We're going to completely demystify the world of Git and GitHub. We're going to go on a journey, starting with just a blank folder and ending with a full-blown collaborative project. And the best part? We're doing it all from the command line, using the pure power of the Linux terminal.
So, let me start by asking you this. Have you ever been deep in a project, you make one tiny change, and suddenly everything breaks? And you just desperately wish you had a time machine, a giant undo button for your whole project's history? Well, that exact problem is why version control even exists. And this right here is the main idea we're going to be playing with. Think of it like a cooking club, right? Git is the tool. It's your own personal kitchen. You can work offline, you can try new recipes, make a total mess, and if you burn something, hey, you can just undo it. GitHub, on the other hand, that's the shared clubhouse. It's the central spot where you and all the other chefs bring your finished recipes to share and combine into one amazing cookbook. Okay, so before we start building, we've got to know our tools. And honestly, the biggest point of confusion for pretty much everyone starting out is the difference between Git and GitHub.
So let's make this super simple. Git is the engine. It's the tool belt. It's a program that runs right on your computer, totally offline, and it's what actually manages your project's history. GitHub, however, is the cloud platform. It's the remote server, kind of like a social network for code. It's where you store a copy of your project so you can collaborate with others. Git is your private workshop. GitHub is the public gallery.
Every great project has to start somewhere. And in the Git world, you've really got two main ways to get the ball rolling, and both start with a simple command right in your terminal. Your first option is to start completely from scratch. You make a new folder, you pop into it, and you type git init. That one command instantly turns that normal, boring folder into a Git repository, a brand new world that you're about to build. The second option is when you want to join a project that's already going. You find it on GitHub, and you use the command git clone with the project's URL. This downloads a perfect, complete copy of that entire world right onto your computer. Okay, project setup. Now we get into the real day-to-day stuff. This is where you're going to spend most of your time, working on your own machine inside your private little workshop. So your local work, before it's officially saved, goes on a little three-step journey. As you can see, it moves from the working directory to the staging area, and then finally into your local repository. We'll start with the working directory. This is just your project folder. Think of it as your messy desk where you're actually writing code and editing files. Next up, once you've made some changes you're actually happy with, you move them to the staging area. The command for this is git add. I love this suitcase analogy. You don't just dump everything from your messy room into your suitcase, right? No, you carefully pick out the specific things you want to take. Git add does the same thing. You can add specific files, or you can type git add dot to just stage everything you've changed. And the final local step is the commit. So your suitcase is all packed with the changes you want. Now you take a snapshot of it. The command is git commit -m, and then you write a short message in quotes describing what you did. This takes everything in your staging area, your packed suitcase, and saves it as a permanent checkpoint in your project's history. That message is like the note you scribble on the back of the Polaroid, so you remember what that picture was all about. And because we're saving everything, we can always look back. If you type git log -1 line in your terminal, you'll get this beautiful, clean list of all your past commits. It's just like reading a captain's log. And what if you want to see what you've changed before you even stage it? Just type git diff, and it'll show you, line by line, exactly what's been added or removed.
So your work is saved nice and safe on your own machine. But the real power, the real magic of Git and GitHub comes from sharing it, syncing it up with that remote clubhouse for everyone else to see.
Think of it exactly like uploading a photo to Instagram. You took the picture, you edited it on your phone, those are your local commits. Now you want to share it with the world. The command git push does exactly that. It sends all of your saved commits from your local machine up to the remote repository on GitHub, making them visible to the rest of your team. So you've shared your work. Fantastic. But how do you get updates from everyone else? Your teammates are also pushing their changes, and you need to keep your local copy of the project in sync. There are two really important commands for this: fetch and pull. Okay, so here's the crucial difference. Git fetch is like going to the library and just seeing that new books have arrived on the shelf. You know they're there, you can see their titles, but you haven't actually read them or copied their notes into your notebook. Git pull, on the other hand, is a two-for-one deal. It fetches all the new information and immediately tries to merge it into the files you're currently working on. Honestly, for your day-to-day work, git pull is almost always the command you're going to use. So far, Everything we've done has been on one single timeline. But what if you want to try out a wild new feature or fix a tricky bug without any risk of breaking the main, stable version of your project? Well, that's where the magic of branching comes in.
A branch is basically a parallel universe for your code. The main stable version of your project almost always lives on a branch called main. When you want to work on something new, you create a new branch with a command like git branch feature X. Then, you actually switch into that new reality using git checkout feature X. Now, any commits, any changes you make, are totally isolated on this separate track, leaving that main branch perfectly safe and untouched.
And then, once your experiment is a success, your new feature is working perfectly, it's time for reunification. You just switch back to your main branch with git checkout main, and then you use one simple command: git merge feature X. And just like that, all the work you did in that parallel universe gets seamlessly woven back into the main timeline.
Okay, wow, we've covered a ton of individual commands. So let's put it all together. Let's see what a typical day of actually using Git and GitHub looks like in the real world.
It's really just a continuous cycle, a loop. You start your day with a Git pull to make sure you have all the latest updates. Then you create and switch to a new branch for whatever you're working on. Pro tip, you can use git checkout -b new feature to do both at once. You do your work using git add and git commit to save your progress along the way. When you're done, you git push your branch up to GitHub. From there, your team can review it. Once it's approved and merged in, you clean up your workspace. And the next day, you just repeat the cycle.
You know, when it comes down to it, this is the most important thing to remember. Git isn't just some complicated tool for programmers. It is, fundamentally, a safety net. It gives you the freedom to try things, to innovate, to be creative, even to fail, knowing you can always rewind time and get back to a safe place. It lets you build fearlessly.
And that's really the big question, isn't it? Now that you have this incredible power to manage complex projects, to collaborate with anyone in the world, and to experiment without fear, the possibilities are literally endless. So, what will you build?